Trump says Phelan supporters are fools. It's February 26, 2024, and these are your headlines. With early voting ongoing in the Republican primary election, former President Donald Trump has continued opining on races inside the state, calling any Republican that supports House Speaker Dade Phelan a fool. Trump made the comment Sunday in a post on Truth Social, where he reiterated his previous endorsement of David Covey, who's one of the candidates challenging Phelan in the primary. He said David Covey is running against Dade Phelan, the Speaker of the Texas House of Representatives, who led the fraudulent impeachment of the recently re-elected, in a landslide, Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton. But this time, Trump expanded his criticism beyond just Phelan. He also took aim at any Republican that backs him. He said any Republican backing Phelan is a fool and should be disassociated from the Republican Party. That's how bad Phelan is, especially on election integrity. Now, Phelan has been blasted for helping Democrats lower the penalty for illegal voting from a felony down to a misdemeanor. They eventually fixed that after being caught. He also refused to move legislation to restore the power of the Attorney General to prosecute election fraud cases. And Trump's comments come after he endorsed 4 challengers to House Republicans just last week. Those candidates include Mike Olcott, who's challenging Glenn Rogers, Helen Kerwin, who's challenging Dwayne Burns, Alan Schoolcraft, who's running against John Kemple, and Liz Case, who's challenging Representative Stan Lambert. He also endorsed Brent Hagenbu for the open Senate District 30 seat, being vacated by retiring State Senator Drew Springer. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who has issued some House endorsements of his own, said that as chair of the Trump campaign for Texas, he is proud of the candidates that Trump has endorsed. Phelan's campaign, however, has not responded to a request for comment. Recently disgraced former Republican Speaker of the House Dennis Bonnen and former Democrat Representative Mark Struma had the first in a promised series of sit-downs with Spectrum News, giving insight into what the two think. On simmering animosity within the Republican Party, both men agreed that the battle has largely escalated lately. Bonin outlined the struggle that's been waged for years, with conservatives working to dislodge politicians, and particularly speakers, who impede the march of conservatism in the House in Texas. For his part, Bonin insisted that current Speaker Dade Phelan has a solid track record as a Republican. And what an endorsement that is. And that criticism of the Speaker on a wide range of topics is unfair. During the interview, Bonin said what they've been doing to Speaker Phelan is unforgivable. They're just blatantly lying about the man. Oh, but of course, no examples of lying were given. But Bonin did suggest that Phelan gets a bad rap on gun rights, saying that Texas is the most free state on Second Amendment rights in the nation. Certainly no help to Bonin, who, by the way, worked very vocally against efforts to introduce constitutional carry in Texas. Even though communication with constituents is important, Bonin and Struma admitted that lawmakers out of step with statewide leadership on key issues, face issues raising money. Bonin said that pro-school choice candidates, for example, are flush with cash, don't have to invest time and energy in fundraising. Struma agreed and said that an unnamed rural lawmaker complained to him that he has to scrape together funding against a $1 million backed candidate. Typically, of course, establishment incumbents raise money with relative ease from the lobby.
Are you worried about your kid's future? You should be. I'm Charles Blaine with Texas Tomorrow. This is a show where we're going to talk about the issues and the people that are pushing the policies that concern your family, your home, and your kids. Catch Texas Tomorrow every Thursday.
Lastly, after a former Austin Fire Department volunteer chaplain was fired for sharing his religious views on his personal blog, attorneys are asking a federal court to protect his free speech and religious freedom. The story began in 2021 when Austin Fire Department chaplain Dr. Andrew Fox was fired from his position after he shared on his personal blog that men and women are biologically different and that men should not compete on women's sports teams. Something that wouldn't have been controversial to say 10 years ago. Dare I say it wouldn't have been that controversial 5 or 6 years ago. Now apparently you can get fired for it. Well, after he posted on the blog, an unknown number of alleged coworkers anonymously complained to the department. Fox then had a meeting with department leadership to discuss his posts. The officials handed Fox several anonymous comments accusing him of male chauvinism, racism, and transphobia. After Fox saw the comments, city officials demanded that he apologize for offending the LGBT community. However, after submitting the apology letter, Fox was terminated from his position. There's a learning opportunity there as well. He bent the knee and apologized, still got fired. In 2022, the Alliance Defending Freedom filed a lawsuit on Fox's behalf, asking the court to require the city of Austin to reinstate Fox to his former position as lead chaplain of the Austin Fire Department and give Fox compensatory damages, including damages for the humiliation, emotional distress, inconvenience, and loss of reputation. The lawsuit also accuses the city of retaliating against Fox for exercising his First Amendment rights. It argues the department violated his First Amendment right to free speech and free exercise of religion, as well as violating the Texas Constitution. Now, over a year since that initial lawsuit was filed, the Alliance Defending Freedom has filed another motion asking a federal court to protect Fox's free speech and religious freedom. The case is currently being heard in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Texas in Austin. For more of today's stories, go to TexasScorecard.com.